Today I want to talk about one of the most intriguing characters in A Song of Ice and Fire, Young Griff, also known as Aegon. Who is he? Be warned, this video contains book spoilers. Is Young Griff really the son of Rhaegar and Elia, as he claims, or is he the son of Rhaegar and Lyanna Stark? I believe he is neither. I believe there is an alliance between the descendants of Sarah Targaryen, the rogue princess, and the remaining Blackfyres. I believe somewhere in Essos, these two abandoned branches of the Targaryen family tree intermarried to keep the blood of the dragon as pure as possible, and waited for their time to strike. We know forgotten, disinherited Targaryen family members do exist, Brown, Ben, Plum being our best example. We know for a fact Sarah Targaryen had 3 bastard sons, and we know from Fire and Blood that at least one of her sons' fathers was a Triarch of Volantis. We also know from Fire and Blood one of her sons had the Targaryen look, being the image of his grandfather King Jaehaerys. They also, all 3, took their bloodline seriously enough to press their individual claims to the Iron Throne during the Great Council after their grandfather Jaehaerys' death. We know Sarah Targaryen spent most of her adult life in Volantis and Lys, and it is no stretch of the imagination to assume one of her 3 sons was fathered by a Lyseni, and perhaps lived in Lys in adulthood by the time of the first Blackfyre Rebellion in 196 AC, and giving people a life expectancy of 60, seeing that this is a Middle Ages kingdom. Sarah Targaryen's grandchildren would have been in their 40s or 50s when the first Blackfyre Rebellion started, and where did the Blackfyres end up after their first rebellion failed? They ended up in Tyrosh. The distance from Tyrosh to Lys is 800 miles, give or take 50 miles. And the only way to travel from Tyrosh to Lys is by boat. The average sailing boat travels 200 miles in 10 hours, so it would have taken 40 hours to make the journey, less than 2 days, in perfect weather conditions. Even with bad weather conditions, we can say with a certain certainty it would have taken no more than 4 days to make the journey. Would not the grandchildren, or even great-grandchildren of the rogue princess, not be tempted to meet their similarly disinherited cousins? Daemon Targaryen and his Tyroshi wife had a lot of children, 7 sons and at least 2 daughters. Their first 3 sons are very well accounted for, but their 4th son Aegon's wife is unnamed, as are the spouses of at least 4 of the other younger children. Is it not completely plausible that one of them married one of their Lyseni relatives to keep the blood of the dragon as pure as possible? I believe this is completely plausible because nobody knows where Daemon Blackfyre or Meleys the Monstrous from the 5th Blackfyre Rebellion were directly related to the first Daemon Blackfyre, and George R.R. Martin only leaves out information when he doesn't want his readers to have it. You might be wondering what all this has to do with Young Griff. Well, Illyrio Mopatis' second wife was a Lyseni pillow house worker, and I believe she was the great-great-great-granddaughter of Princess Sarah Targaryen, and possibly the great-great-granddaughter of Daemon Blackfyre, and the probable sister of our favorite spider, Varys. As we know, Varys started his life in Lys. Illyrio's second wife was called Sarah, and she had silver hair and purple eyes, just like all the Targaryens do. This brings me back around to Illyrio, who we mainly know as an obese cheese merchant, but who in his youth was a bravo sellsword, a tall, muscular, handsome, blonde man. The fact he was blonde does ring a small Targaryen bell, but I feel the more important thing to focus on is the fact that he was a sellsword. That sparks a serious Blackfyre bell, as the Blackfyres are heavily linked with the founding of the Golden Company. Many people are sellswords, however, but for me the clinching factor is his friendship with Varys. A friendship as long and strong as the one between Illyrio and Varys is uncommon even in today's society, never mind in a medieval, politically intriguing society, where, when you play the Game of Thrones, you win or you die. That is why I believe it is more than friendship that simply holds these two together. Blood is thicker than water, and Varys and Illyrio are related twice over, once by a mutual grandparent or great-grandparent, and once by Illyrio marrying Varys' sister Sarah, and fathering our very own Young Griff. The Blackfyre and Rogue Princess DNA being very strong with these three, and seeing an opening for the throne, they decided to take a new approach to the Blackfyre rebellion and play the long game. With the closest dragon blood child they had, Young Griff, and the only child of Illyrio and his wife Sarah. He is the blood of their blood and the bone of their bone, and they would only roll the dice and risk everything for someone who was their own blood kin. This entire story is about family power struggles in a medieval world. Why would Illyrio and Varys be betting on a player who was not on their side of the Syvas board? I also want to talk about the significance of some of the characters' names, starting with the first, Daemon Blackfyre. The name Daemon means guardian spirit in Greek. Is he a guardian spirit who watches over his family line? His fourth son, Aegon's name means enclosed or protected place, which symbolizes that someone else is taking care of your problems. In this case, gaining the throne, which now seems to be Illyrio's goal for his son. The name Illyrio means star of stars, and the symbolism of stars is worldly success and fulfillment of one's destiny. Now we come to Sarah Targaryen and Sarah Mopatis. Both names are pronounced the same but spelt differently. The first meaning of Sarah simply means princess, but Sarah means a view from a high place, which symbolizes large obstacles to overcome on your way to achieving your goals. So we have a princess with obstacles to overcome, perhaps simply getting out of the pillow house, or perhaps putting her Blackfyre blood of the dragon son on the throne of Westeros. The dragon must have 3 heads. Could these heads be Varys, Illyrio, and Sarah? I know this theory may sound a little tinfoil, but who really knows? I guess we'll have to wait for Winds of Winter to find out. But what do you think? Be sure to let me know in the comments below. And as always, this is just my opinion. Please remember to help out and like this video if you enjoyed it. You can also follow me on Instagram at Lady Jessica Riddell and on Twitter at Jessams. I post on Twitter regularly about my videos. If you want to see more book reviews, character comparisons, and fan theories, please subscribe to Jessie Bear Book Club. I try to post a new video at least once a week. See you next time on Jessie Bear Book Club. Bye!